Hello creators, welcome back to my channel for another weekly channeled guidance message. And my name is Allison. If we haven't met, I am a channel. I'm also here to bring messages through to the collective, and I teach people how to channel. So if that's something that you're wanting to experience, get in touch with me. I'll leave all the information in the description box below this video. All right, so I'm gonna dive right in because this week is so good. And I'm so happy to share this information with all of you. So some of you last week may have been really getting put through the ringer or just having a lot of emotional things come up. It could have been a tough week for you. You might have been finding a lot of fear, really going into some of those things that weren't working. They were not working even more. But this week we have some reprieve. And so I want to share with you, I'm actually going to read directly from my notes because I think they're really good. So what I do during these channelings is I actually speak it into the microphone and then I transcribe it. And so what I'm going to read to you is the transcription of my channeling. All right, so the theme this week is love yourselves. Came through really strong. Love yourselves. That's the theme. You may have seen lots of upheaval, lots of upset this past week. Very intimidating inner demons came up to the surface to be loved, to be held, to be integrated into your psyche. These are all apparitions, meaning they're projections of our mind, and none of them are true. They're only true to the extent of we create them, right? We create these fears. We create these problems. We're creators. So we're going to be, whatever we've been trained to believe and whatever life has kind of given us the opportunity to create. Now we're going to start seeing, well, that was fear-based and it came out really strongly for us to look at. So see what you can create now that you have recognized those inner demons. So those of you who really put in the work last week, who really dove in and said, okay, I'm here for myself, I'm gonna do this work. When we looked at those inner demons and then we held them, because that's what we do in shadow work, we hold ourselves, we embrace all aspects of ourselves, all aspects of the all that is. And when we do that, if you've done that work, this week is going to have a profound difference. It's going to feel so different from last week. Okay. Allow yourselves to more fully create. This week you have a renewed sense of passion, a renewed sense of purpose. Everything that you want will come to you. You have faith in that. You know that because you let go of the fear and you know that the fear was the only thing holding you back from everything that you want. Remember that the outer world is not your master. You create your outer world. So that's a big theme for this week. All right. So again, going into self-love is the theme for this week. And the question that came through was, how can I love myself more? How can we love ourselves more? How can we be even more gentle with ourselves as we move forward into our dreams? This does not need to be a hard process or a heavy process. This can be light, this can be easy, one step at a time, joyful and fun. Now, some of you may need to remind yourself, this is an interesting thing that came through. Some of you may need to actually remind yourselves that you've done the work and not try and recreate it just to keep yourself feeling safe from it. A lot of times what we do is we have an experience that might have even been traumatic, and we remind ourselves of it again and again in attempt to not have it happen again. It's our self-protection. But what that actually does is it recreates that again and again. So you've done the work, remind yourselves that you've done the work, remind yourselves that you're doing the work, and you don't need to keep reminding yourself of what happened last week. You don't need to keep bringing it up to protect yourself. Remind yourself that you've moved through it already, so you don't keep recreating it. One of the themes that came through this week is the phrase that we often use at least in the US, the phrase that we use for March, right? In like a lion, out like a lamb. And what's happening, because for a lot of people, Sunday was the significant Lionsgate portal. Now that's something that I don't directly connect with, but I was shown this was a major portal that we all went through. So whether you call it Lionsgate or you call it something else, or you were just feeling some energy or you weren't feeling anything, all of that's okay. We're all doing our own energy dance. But what they were showing me, what my guides were showing me, is in like a lion, out like a lamb. So what was happening is we came in with all this energy, this lion energy, this heart energy. We went through a big heart expansion. We really, really shifted our frequency and expanded ourselves. And this week, we're going into self-love, we're going into peace, and it's coming out like a lamb, right? We don't need to rush into anything. We now recognize that to rush something, that to force something, means that we're afraid that it won't happen. So this week, really pay attention to being at peace. Continue to remind yourself or remember the things that you learned, not the things that hurt you, but the things that you are bringing with you, these lessons that you know, the things that you know about yourself, that you can trust, that everything's always working out for you. And take those things with you. And then as we continue into this new week, it will be very peaceful. Now, the level of peace and what happens this week really in large part depends on your level of surrender. So let's talk about that, because for some of you, you are going to have a huge windfall this week. And this is what I was really excited to share with you. There could be a huge windfall of all of these things that weren't working in the past week or the past month, now all of a sudden coming in and working really well, and sort of the life of your dreams presenting itself to you, right? So for not all of you, some of you are going to just have a very peaceful week. Things are going to start slowly and steadily working again, feeling good again. But for some of you, you're going to have a big influx of just awesomeness. So I hope this message sees you well. And again, if you'd like to learn how to channel, I would love to teach you. I do have a course. It's a year-long course where we dive into that, intuition, verbally channeling, and it's a really good community too. Also, for those of you who would like to attend, I do a community channeling circle once per month, and it is this week, actually, August 11th. So if you're watching this in real time, then I would love to have you join that. It is limited to 9 people, so sign up. I will put all of the links in the description box, and I hope you have a great week. Talk to you soon.